That's much better.
America is headed for a crisis. Brownouts, blackouts, grid overload, and exceeded capacity have put our society very close to the edge. This isn't a promo for the next terrorist-based action movie. This is a description of the energy grid that you and I depend upon each and every day. This fossil fuel-based system is on the brink of failing us. President Obama said, "For the sake of our country, our security, and the future of our nation, I will set a clear goal as president. In the next 10 years, we will finally end our dependence on oil from the Middle East." Awesome, but how? One solution is domestic environmentally clean. It's plentiful and inexhaustible in Oklahoma. Our state song even pays tribute to it. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, wind energy. Wind has always been a natural resource of importance in Oklahoma. When my great-grandfather ferried across the Red River into Indian Territory, the symbols of the West were cowboys, windmills, and a Colt 45 holstered on your hip. The cowboys set up water aquifers to pump water from the deep and set up windmills to pump water from the deep and plentiful water aquifers. Oklahoma's dry summer winds were tamed by the water, turning scorched soil into productive farm and ranch land. Abandoned windmills still stand proudly on old farmsteads across the plains. Today's windmills hardly resemble those of before statehood. A windmill at that time stood about 20 feet tall. Modern wind turbines stand taller than a 20-story building. The 4-foot blades of the 1800s have morphed into blades that are longer than a football field. The windmill has moved from pumping water on the plains to powering homes and cars in both rural and metropolitan areas. The United States was once called the Saudi Arabia of wind power. Last year, producing enough wind-generated electricity to power the entire state of Wisconsin. According to Paul Renfro, Vice President of Public Affairs for OG&E, Oklahoma is situated in the nation's prime wind development area. At the 2009 Wind Energy Conference, it was announced that we rank second in the nation in potential wind energy production. We have the potential by the year 2025 to supply 10% of the nation's energy needs. On average, a wind turbine we could find at any of 6 wind farms already located in Oklahoma produces as much as 12,000 barrels of oil in a single year. Western Farmers Electric Co-op led the way in providing wind-generated electricity to Oklahoma. They purchased the entire production of Blue Canyon 2 near Lawton and portions of additional wind farms. Wind-generated power from Western Farmers can supply over 25,000 farms, ranches, and homes. Wind power can be an economic revival for rural America. Where people are leaving to find better jobs, wind power is bringing them back, with salaries that rival aerospace. The jobs are in areas from maintenance to construction to engineering. A July Newsweek article stated that lease payments to farmers and ranchers could total nearly $500 million in the next decade. Now that would really help improve a ranch. The conservation districts of Oklahoma, including Bryan Conservation District, support farmers and ranchers and their efforts to be sound stewards of the environment through a variety of conservation programs. One of those is the Farm and Ranch Land Protection Program. Wind turbines comply with the purposes of the Farm and Ranch Land Protection Program. This program helps sustain or develop the economy, maintain the ability to grow food and fiber, and safeguard our ecosystems. The only negative aspect of wind farms are in that of scenic beauty. In truth, the wind farms are usually in areas of low population, so the impact is minimal. My dad's ranch is located near Caddo, in the northern part of Bryan Conservation District. Our conservation plan includes the following programs: Conservation Reserve Program, Conservation Technical Assistance, Environmental Quality Incentives Program, and the Wildlife Habitat Incentives Program. Bryan Conservation District provides the technical advice and some funding for our conservation plan. Although our conservation plan does not include a windmill, as supported in the Farm and Ranch Land Protection Program, my parents are considering one to provide electricity for our operation. A prayer by poet and Presbyterian minister Thomas Carlyle best summarizes the conservation attitude we should all have. Help us to harness the wind, the water, the sun, and all the ready and renewable resources. Teach us to preserve, conserve, and use wisely the blessed treasures of our wealth-stored earth. Help us to share your bounty and not waste it or pervert it into peril for our children and our neighbors in other nations. The Conestoga wagon that my great-grandfather ferried across the Red River into Indian Territory is now in a museum. It's been replaced by a dirty flatbed Ford. The windmills that meant fresh, cool water now occupy flower beds and scrap metal piles. The The wind turbine today is becoming the 21st century symbol of renewable energy. World energy demand is expected to grow by 44% in the next 25 years. The question is, will America's demand be met by America's resources? Oklahoma wind energy, advance in our state, empower in our nation.
I think that was really good, Hank.
No, it's fine.
Oh.